Hello, this is Dr. Jeff Craig, Superintendent of West Aurora Schools, and welcome to episode 31 of the West Aurora 129 podcast. Our guest today has been a dedicated public servant and community leader for many years. He's lived in North Aurora his entire life, raised his family here, and is a proud West Aurora High School alum. He was a trustee and interim mayor before being elected mayor of North Aurora in 2021. He's also a small business owner running a landscaping company for the past 30 years. Please welcome Mayor Mark Gaffino. Thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome. I'm honored and humbled to be here.
You know, as we were talking beforehand, this will be the last one that I get to be the questioner, and looking forward and really honored that you're that person filling that last billet.
That's pretty cool.
So if we could start with your background a little bit, talk a little bit about being an alum, and you, at many of our kickoffs, you have been known to wear West Aurora gear. I think you had your old Letterman's jacket on the last time.
Yeah, I did. District 129, West Aurora, I always had a good, place in my heart. I get goosebumps going into the school still, like when we had that back to school event, whatever. It's just like, it just brings you right back to, 1978.
So let's talk about that a little bit. You know, that's my era. I was a 78 grad myself. So we're just...
Yeah, you look like you're 39
we children,
too.
that's
so
right.
There you go.
So if you can remember back to those times, what's some of those memorable experiences you had as a student?
I try to think back to that. I was just probably your basic student, kind of couldn't wait the school to end. So it's like I probably didn't utilize all the options I had back then. I was in band and sports, but I just never, wasn't really a school person. But I ended up going to, Wabansie College, graduating, going to Northern Illinois. So, school is in my wheelhouse, I guess, but it was just, I did wrestling. I had to come back for band. I was in a band concert. So, I had good memories with the band and different things. So
you talk a little bit about some of those extracurriculars, maybe not so much in the academic realm, but were there some coaches, teachers, mentors that stick out in your mind as memorable?
Yeah, there was, different ones over the time. But I know Rick Albright, he's the one that,
yes.
in 8th grade, I met him. Originally, I think in 7th grade, North Aurora went to Washington. And then 8th grade, they decided to take North Aurora to Franklin, which was the former West Aurora,
yes.
which was former Aurora Christian. And that's where I met Coach Albright. So, it was interesting. I still talk to him today, as well as like George Deich and some of the other...
wrestling coach.
Yeah. So mentor, I don't know, but influence. And like I said, it's neat today to actually, I still call him coach or, Mr. or whatever. It's, so.
Never changes, does it?
Right. No, it doesn't.
And you and Coach Deich share one commonality. You're both Challenge Coin awardees.
Yeah, that was cool too, receiving that. Yeah, that was a big surprise and, much appreciated. And I always remember that day. And it was really neat.
Those are fun things to be able to reach back to people that support us.
You gave me that. I have a challenge coin now for North Aurora. I haven't given out the first one yet.
No kidding.
But so I kind of took your idea and thought, there's some employees, some people in North Aurora as well that go above and beyond. So I thought, I got to come up with a nice saying or whatever, like you do. But I think I saw you did Jim Pilmer.
Yes.
And, different ones. So. Yeah, so I'm going to do that soon here. I'm trying to work out the logistics.
That's
of who
awesome.
I'm picking. So yeah, I think it's really an honor. So thank you.
You're absolutely welcome and well deserved. Yeah, we did some sneak attacks. We went to their places and made the awards, which they were surrounded by their folks, which made it pretty special as well. Neat. I want to fast forward a little bit. Your own kids, John and Amanda, went to West Aurora schools. Talk a little bit about their experience and how our district has helped prepare them for some of their endeavors.
Yeah, so John, he was more like me, kind of just went through school, Amanda, she embraced, she was in a cappella and choir and band and all kinds of, did solos. And I was shocked some of the stuff she did. She did solos in front of the choir and it prepared him. My son's IT, in the IT world, he went to NIU after Wabansie as well. And Amanda, she went to Wabansie and graduated and then went to Paul Mitchell School of Hair.
Awesome.
And so she does hair. So I can use the IT person, but can't really use the hair person. So
follically challenged, right?
Some humor there.
Yes, certainly I understand that. So now I'm going to focus. You said earlier that you're not used to talking about yourself, but we're going to kind of nudge you do that a little bit. Being a public servant, what kind of was the impetus for you getting into a career in public service?
Well, I think when I was I really don't know exactly. It was a good question. So I was kind of thinking back, and it's like, as a kid, I had a few neighbors that were in the village government, but I volunteered with the JCs. I don't know. I just had, I guess, a volunteerism type attitude. And I remember back then, North Aurora had like a cleanup day, and I would get involved there. And then somewhere along the line, after the kids got a little older, I think I got on like the beautification committee in North Aurora. Then I was the chairman of the police commission for probably 5 or 6 years, and I was on the planning commission for probably another 5 or 6 years. And then somebody asked that I run for the board. I'm like, man, I never even thought of that, but okay. And then here we are 20 some years later on the board. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I guess it's in a way it's kind of good, because that's not the end all for me. You know what I mean? It's like you do it because you love it, but it's not like the person who you are, or, you know what I mean? It's not like I got to have it or else.
Sure.
It's like,
doesn't define who you are.
Yeah. And maybe that's better to have people like that, because it's, you try to do the right thing, not necessarily the thing that'll get you the vote, but, rights for the entire village.
And you talk about giving back and wanting to just, to volunteer. And you've mentioned to me many times your willingness to want to come in and talk to our kids in classrooms and different programs. So just to be able to say, hey, I went through that place, and now I have a different perspective.
Right. And I think it's important for the North Aurora, or any students, but the ones we have in town, to know that who the mayor is, the village government, and, they have, support from the village and myself. And it was pretty neat. I think the last thing I went to the Snyder Fun Fair just Saturday, or they had a fun run. But I spoke with the fourth graders about government, and there was probably 50 of them, and that was really neat at Schneider. And, some of the questions, are you going to run for president of the United States? How many miles is it from your house to the village hall? And just, it was just
things
really,
you never think of.
The last one, I was walking out. It was really neat because they came and got me, 3 or 4 girls with the teacher. When I left, same thing. But the one girl stopped me, was like, what do you think about TikTok? And are they going to ban that, you think, and all that? And it's like, she's probably, 4th grade and worried about them. Like, I wanted to say, what is TikTok? But I know what TikTok is. But it's funny when the custodians were there, and they were just kind of smiling. I'm like, well, we'll have to see what happens. But, it's interesting what's on their minds. I got 3 or 4 letters from them talking about they'd like North Aurora to have more forests and Thanksgiving Day parade and just different things. So it was really neat to see what, And I asked all the kids, like, what do you love about the village and what do you hate? What would you like to see change? So it was interesting to get feedback from 4th graders. So
you had talked that you were kind of coached to run for some boards, be a trustee. And now here you are in charge of the village of North Aurora. So what prompted running for the mayor of North Aurora?
Yeah, I guess it was just like a natural progression, I guess, in some ways. I was the vice mayor, or the mayor pro tem, for at least 8 years anyway, former mayor Dale Berman, and he decided to run for county board, and I decided to run for office. So next fall, or next year at this time, there'll be another election, so I'm going to run at least one more time anyway.
That's awesome. Well, you've done some great things there, and one of the things I want to highlight, selfishly speaking, talking about, we the school district collaborated with the village of North Aurora in our purchase and continuing renovation of the automotive tech center. And what I want to share, or at least have you talk a little bit about, is what are some of the benefits of those collaborations, of that teaming up with the villages and the municipalities and the local school districts?
Oh, personally, I mean, that's the way it should be with all government, not just the school district, but, township, city of Aurora. And we have a pretty good relationship with them. But no, I think it's great. I think, it's kind of the secret sauce to a lot of the things. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, and both parties being willing to share and being transparent, and, hey, this is what we need. This is what, you need. And really that's what's life about, working together and common goal. And I think that was a great idea. I mean, the shop classes and things that you've done, it's just, just outstanding. So.
Well, and as a side note, the village of North Aurora makes it very easy for school districts to be able to approach you with these ideas and with these proposals. So I think that you guys have a persona that is welcoming to those ideas, whether they all get done or not, or whether they all get approved or not. but at least being approachable to say, hey, we'd like to do this. And I think that's a big positive, big feather in your cap that people are willing to ask those questions and propose things.
Yeah, I think we have great staff, and as you do, and just different times I hear comments, they're collaborating with something with the school or whatever it is. If it's parking issues or, traffic getting through, I mean, everybody kind of works together. Nobody's on an island and it's not my job or whatever. So
absolutely.
So, yeah.
You come across as an everyday person, and I think that that's people are very receptive to that. But one of the hats you wear is the mayor of North Aurora. Mm-hmm. So what kind of a perspective do you bring to governance and leadership in terms of the village?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's I don't have any hidden agendas. It's just kind of as things go. Luckily, we have a great staff. I mean, it wasn't for the staff, Steve Bosco and the staff. I mean, they really run the village. We're just the good-looking people at the top. But you know what I mean. They do. And they're just great. And Steve works his tail off to make sure everything's covered and makes my job easy. So. I'm more the figurehead or like the face of the village and go out and do things, but they're the full time. I mean, they work a lot on things. So, yeah.
Speaking of that, you talked a little bit about, you presented to fourth graders and willing to hear some of their questions about what do they like? What don't they like about the village? So what's the vehicle for you to remain connected to the residents of North Aurora so that you get a pulse of what they're thinking and feeling and some of their concerns?
Well, I guess, being open to, I get phone calls and I try to call people back, 24 hours and may not like to hear what we have to say or I'll look into it. I'm also with my business. I'm in, town a lot, seeing a lot of people. So I hear things there. Lions Club, I used to be, when my son was younger, North Aurora baseball for probably 12, 14 years. So, but I think going to school events, just being open and, you do hear stuff. People do message me different things.
Some good, some bad, right?
Yeah, probably just like you.
Absolutely.
That's right. But hey, sometimes we get it wrong. Sometimes, but we try to correct it. Or if there's issues that we overlooked, I mean, we have a small staff and 20,000 people almost in town. So, there's always stuff going on, something, changing. If a parking lot's getting done in the community there where it's a village lot and somebody didn't tell the businesses and just things happen. But hey, we correct it and, keep moving forward.
Absolutely. So. You have, and we've talked a little bit about some of the different events that you've participated in our schools. Are there any specific events or items that stand out in your mind as memorable?
I think they all are. They're all a little different. I did the trunk or treat at Fern School, and that was pretty cool. I brought the village car and just dressed it up, and they're all separate, but they're all like I said, kind of takes you back when my kids are there or I went there, and it's just neat that the kids are just simple and tell you the truth.
Absolutely
and,
do. Unfiltered.
And the teachers, and it's nice to. You have a lot of great teachers, and they work hard,
yes,
and it's neat to just see them and say hi or just know that we're here to support them if we in any way we can. So
absolutely. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you to put your politician hat back on. What are some things that, as you think about the future of North Aurora, what are some things that you're looking forward to? Some things that you're excited about, coming attractions that you want to brag about?
Well, we're going to build a new public works building, which doesn't sound that fun, but it's probably $18 million. And it's going to be on Butterfield Road there, right next to the one that's currently there. We're shifting some land with the fire district. They have a training facility there, yes. I think Aurora, North Aurora. So going to build that. So I mean, that's a big undertaking. Block 1 is another one where the former North Aurora grade school, that's where I went to, state, and right by Harners or State 31. So we traded some land with the fire district, so they're putting a new fire station at Oak and 31. So we're going to recoup their land, tear down their fire station, and try to develop that area into like a mixed use with, like apartments on top and shops underneath. Wow. So that's something I'd like to see. That Route 31 from Oak to John Street at least, but if not, the airport road really is, needs
repurposing.
Facelift. Yeah, repurposing.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah, so we own several lots there as well, and it just takes money and a vision. We're trying to get it so it's kind of all has continuity up and down the street versus kind of hodgepodgey type things. So, but we're looking to vacate that Monroe Street where the fire district pulls out on to maybe make it a cobblestone, kind of like Batavia has. Downtown Batavia has that, where they block that off and have the, specialty beers or small bands play and just have that kind of look to it. So we're looking to do that where you'd face the river and have maybe ice cream shops or whatever, restaurants or things.
Nice attractions to bring folks downtown again.
Yeah, we don't really have a downtown.
Yeah.
So that's probably the one thing I'd like to see in the next 4 or 5 years. But everything just slowly, takes time. It's in a TIF district, moving things along in that area as well. So
that'll give some things for folks to look forward to.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, we're trying to have events in North Aurora, so you don't have to leave town. We're a size now where we should really have more events. We have almost events every month now, from food truck events to car shows to I'm meeting people in their parks in their neighborhood, meet the mayor. Last year I had bike with the mayor. So I go to different parks and different areas of town because everybody has a different issue depending on where they live. So I'm an hour or two and tell me what you like or what you hate, So.
Plus it puts a face with a name.
That's right. Right.
That's awesome. Well, I would, on a personal, professional note, I want to extend our appreciation from the West Aurora School District for the collaboration, the partnership that we've enjoyed with you, with your predecessor, but the Village of North Aurora has been a good partner to our school district. And so I want to thank you, Mayor Gaffino, for what you have helped us to accomplish and for your partnership, being a very proud and strong alum, but also a great leader in our school district. So thank you.
Well, it's easy to do, like I said, with good working partners. I mean, it's great. We'll miss you. And Mike, I was going to ask you, what's life going to be after District 29 for Jeff Gregg? So what's your plans?
We've got options. I've got probably 7 or 8 different ways to go, and probably in the field of education. It's my wheelhouse, obviously, for the last 35 years. And I won't go away completely, but probably will tone down to just a few days. So we'll see what that looks like.
You're such a young guy. So it's like class of 78, So, and then you're Mr. Smith taking over. I assume it'll be seamless and good things in the future for District 129 as well.
Yep, July 1, Dr. Smith moves in, and I know that the district will continue to move forward. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. And it's been a pleasure to have you here today. Please remember that you can find us wherever you get your podcasts, including iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and the TuneIn Radio app.